On this 50-point inspection, I have a beer coming from Fidens Brewing Company. They're out of Albany, New York. This beer is called Rose. It's a double IPA, and it's 8.2% ABV, hopped with Citra and Galaxy hops. Pick this one right up at the Fidens location. Canned on date September 13th. So where we're at now, it's in between that 3-week to a month period. So I've had a few Fidens beers, and yeah, sometimes when they're super fresh, they can be very, very green. So we're gonna give this one a go and kind of see where it falls. Hopefully it's kind of done its mellowing out here in the past few weeks. So yeah, let's crack it. I believe Rose is one of their flagship beers as well, according to Joe from the Beer Patrol. Head on this is pretty tight-knit, frothy white head. The color of the beer itself, it's definitely a murky, kind of potato-esque, a little bit of slight orange coloration, a little like yellow, and some straw-like type notes in there as well. Let's give this the smell test. All right. Yeah, it's a tropical mix. I'm getting anything from pineapple to mango. There's a fruit fly. There is a little bit of pear, peach. It's a little bit citrusy. I'd say kind of more on the tangerine. Maybe a little bit of like an orange zestiness, but not like orange juice. A little bit of an herbaceousness as well, kind of tail end. Malt, I mean, it's kind of got this oaty type aroma going for it. Oaty, not the dog though. All right, let's get some flavors. Cheers. First swig. Yeah. So it does have a kind of a balance with the malt. There's a bit of a malt profile on this. It is a little bit bready, kind of oat-like. Slight crackery type malt presence. Fruit flies are driving me nuts. I'd say, as far as the hops, first swig, there's definitely a hoppy presence. I would say that the aromatics, it's a bit easier to pick out like the different flavor notes. On the palate, first swig, it's just kind of a combined like mess of fruitiness. So gonna go back in, try to keep these fruit flies from getting in my beer, and take another sip. Yeah, it's got like a peachiness, slight like tangerine, little bit papaya-like. Does finish with a little bit of this earthy, like herbal-esque type tone on the bitterness. There's a touch of pineapple in there, more on the cooked end of the pineapple. Mouthfeel, it does have a semi-soft, kind of floating mouthfeel. Seems to be a medium body, but the like carbonation in this one is spritzy. and it does kind of make the mouth feel itself kind of lifty and light and cloud-like. So it's not the softest, most velvet soft of mouthfeels, but it does have a nice softness to it. Lifty. Carbonation's definitely in there. I can feel belching already starting to form. Yeah, it's stuck in my throat. Yeah, the flavors. I'm gonna go to this rose reference here. I'm not getting a lychee, like, you might think like, oh, the light rose petal type floralness thing, but I'd say the flavors are softer, like a rose, more mild than what the aromas had me thinking. So, like I said, the malt and stuff does kind of make a presence in this beer. It's fairly well balanced out between what there is of malt and the hops. And the bitterness it's there. There's a lingering bitterness. I would say it's kind of on the lower side, so mild to low side moderate, but yeah, and it kind of stays in that kind of herbal, earthy tone. Maybe a bit like a finish of like a papaya, maybe some a little bit of a rind of citrus fruit. Kumquat without being too bitter. All right, I'm ready to score this one. Okay, so let's look at the Untapped here first. Before I go to the score, before I go to the store, before I go to the score, I'm gonna read what they have in store. So what we have here is Eugene's Axe, Citra+Galaxy, fermented with an experimental yeast strain. Okay, formerly known as Socratic Questioning number 12. Interesting. So, out of 1,626 ratings on Untapped, this beer averages out at a 4.41 out of 5. For my own ratings, for the appearance, I gave it the 6 out of 6. For the aromatics, I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. Flavor score on this one, I gave a 16 out of 19. Body, 5 out of 5. And for my overall, I like it. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10, which is going to give this a BuMpY score of 45 out of 50, which is going to land it as a very good beer. Citra+Galaxy double IPA, and oh yeah, it's balanced out. It's really nice. So try it if you can. Go to Fidens, buy it, try it, drink some more, and cheers to everybody that's watched any of my videos, or this one at least. Appreciate you.